Do 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 do. Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I'm an illustrator. I'm a cartoonist. I'm a digital and traditional artist. And today, I'll just happen to have the power and the ability to be your instructor. How cool is that? Yeah. So, how about we learn some cool stuff today? Yesterday, I had a nice little lesson on the head and learning how the neck and the head work and how to learn to simplify this to an extremely easy level, right? Like to the point where it's a line and two circles. If you learn how to just draw your spine, which is in the back of your body, all you need to do to draw the jaw and the connecting point to your neck, to your head, is two circles of the same size. Taper them, and you have yourself a head. That allows you the ability to draw things in a ton of different styles. So that's kind of cool. Spine, circle, circle, taper, volume. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's what we were doing yesterday. I was teaching you guys how you can use that to be able to draw your characters. And then we drew an example of it so you guys could see that it can be applied to something useful. I gotta blow my nose. I'll be right back. So that is what we learned yesterday. And then I had a private mentoring session with someone, and they wanted to learn how to draw volume. So I taught them the very, very, very important lesson on Mr. Globy. Mr. Globy is essentially how you learn volume. Mr. Globy is just a simple circle, right? And you give them volume by drawing a circle inside. You use that line as a guideline to be able to draw yourself a happy face. If you want to learn to draw arms and legs on opposite sides, you need to learn to draw guides that go the other way. And then you used to learn to draw little dots to connect them and know where your arms go. Yay! Okay? That is how you learn that. And then you learn legs by going down the sides of Mr. Globy. So Mr. Globy is a complete exercise. And he looks really weird when you try to draw him. But if you practice drawing him, he gives you the ability to start with a very basic body structure. The only thing you need to do is add a head later. And then I taught them the concept of the collarbone and how to apply the compass at the top. And then I taught him the rule of thirds. And then I taught him a bunch of other simple tricks that he could use, like penmanship skills. And this was over the course of about like an hour and a half. So if anybody wants to sign up for that sort of stuff, that's option for you guys too. Some people learn differently. Some people learn with direct approach. Some people learn with, like in a group. Some people like observing. Some people like to be told directly what to do. So people learn differently. So I offer different teaching methods for you guys to learn. Anyways, what should our lesson be today? Our lesson today should be something fun. Ooh, we still have more pages. We started singing. Every time that I draw Maui or I draw volcanoes, I end up drinking. I know that I'm singing that night. Then that night, you guys asked me to draw flowers, plants. I taught you guys how to move your bodies around with very simple concept of the ball and the egg. And we draw mermaids because it's mermaid. So we drew a bunch of mermaids. We're watching some Disney songs. So we were listening to Beauty and the Beast, some Gaston drawings, more Gaston drawings, some Venom drawings to teach you guys that you can use the same technique with something that has a bigger jaw, right? you can do that same thing to figure out your bottom jaw. So it's a good technique. You can use it for animals, you can use it for humans, you can use it for cute little thingies, you can use it for dinosaurs, you can use it for anything you have that requires a jaw, essentially. And then we drew some ducks. So anyways, we get to our page today. If you guys plan to stay for our lesson, make sure to like and share the stream. If you guys want to see past videos, there are mostly on YouTube. And I'm just going to do it again because it's really important. If you guys like the stream, we get more people, I get more students, you guys get more co-artists, and you guys can have awesome time in the chat. Perspective for all things profile, huh? Okay, let's do that. So if we're going to be doing profiles, it's going to be very important for you to understand that most of the volume for our bodies, including our heads, goes to the front of our spine. Our spine is this big bone that's in the back of our bodies. Okay? It's very flexible and it bends all over the place and it has little ridges and stuff like that, right? So this is in the very back of our bodies. Everything else is in the front. So if we consider this in a simple way, a line, and then our skull is going to come forward from that, we have a basic head. It's super simple, right? But the way that we make it work is we draw a circle going from the base of the spine where it connects to create that roundness that we need to go around our shape. This allows us to split this circle anywhere we want our ear, and it gives us a jaw structure. It's kind of cool because you can rotate this circle based on this point, and you have a more open mouth, a more closed mouth. So if you need something, this is going to be this part of the face, okay? You're essentially drawing up until your cheekbone. You're not drawing your entire face when you draw that upper part. You're drawing up until your teeth line in your cheeks. Okay? This bottom part is going to be dependent on how open you need your mouth. So if you need to stylize it, you can now understand how to open your mouth a little bit more. You just open up that circle a little more, and you have access to an open mouth. So this is starting to get a little complicated. Let's just simplify it, okay? Back of the body, we draw one circle on the bottom. That circle on the bottom is going to be the circle that connects to your rib cage. That, again, is on the back of your body. So if it's in the back of your body and you match that exact same circle size, and then just taper it to the front, you have yourself, again, a jaw structure. Split it wherever you feel like that has to go up, and you have yourself a nice little head looking up. Let's do a couple of examples so you guys see how actually simple this is. It is incredibly simple to think about it like this, but it needs to be explained in a way that makes sense, right? If I just tell you do a line and then do two circles, you're going to be like, what are those circles? Why is it coming out like that? It's just because you're really good, blah, blah, blah. But no, if you understand that this is your bone structure, this is going to be the pivot point for your neck right here. So if you want to move your head, you move that stick and then you draw all those other circles in that other position. So if you want to draw your head in a different position, find the back of your spine, which is the back of that circle, move it to wherever you want it, and then that other mass comes later. So you can start drawing heads in different positions a lot easier without having to guess where things go. Are you on YouTube? Yes, I am on YouTube. So at the end of the day, it's going to end up being more like this. Thinking of it like this. And then matching this same size right here. That gives you access to your head shape, how it's supposed to be. And later on, when you want to connect the rest of the body, it's really easy. Because if you start seeing this like a cylinder, you just have to add another circle in there, and you have yourself a head in different positions. Okay, so now we simplified it from a line to just a cylinder. Taper the bottom part, and you have yourself a head. Okay? The rest of the body comes from drawing a compass that gives you access to the width you need for your shoulders. And then from this circle, you draw an egg. And you already have your spine. You already mapped out your spine, so you already know where the spine is. Draw a line through your circle, and you find the front. This is the front of your rib cage. That's the back of your rib cage. If you draw a circle around this egg, you find your spine. And your spine is in the back. Follow it down, like you did following it up, and you have yourself contact with your hip bones. If you draw a little butterfly, or like little butterfly wings, or just draw two little angled circles, all you gotta do is connect the edges, and you have yourself an upper body. This circle is in the front, that circle's in the back. Well, so when you're drawing, it ends up being like that. Okay? And then when you draw legs, draw them like this. Draw them as a teardrop coming out of here. So draw it as a teardrop into a straight line. I know it sounds weird, but just draw a straight line. And that depends on whatever way you want it, okay? Then from there, just draw the muscles that connect to the back of the thigh. Cool. And then I know that connecting circle, so I can move these legs anywhere I want. Even the difficult poses become a lot easier when you learn how to draw them easy. Okay? Posing becomes really simple because all you gotta do is connect back to this angle. So as long as you draw your teardrop in a straight line, you can draw feet really easy like that. Straight up like that, dude. It doesn't have to be super complicated. When you want to add your volume and stuff, that's when you have to give that volume, right? And learn about overlapping lines, but that's a very minimal aspect of it afterwards. So from here, drawing the leg in any direction, it's just a matter of learning a teardrop and a stick. And then later on, when you learn anatomy, you'll learn how to overlap the lines. But that's minimal. Again, that's just minuscule compared to what you normally would have to do. You should be an art teacher. I am an art teacher. I teach right here. I am a teacher. I've been doing this for 7 years, dude. 7 years. Not 7 long years, because it's not a task. It's not a chore. I just really enjoy this. And it's something that I really, really find fun and happy. Like, it makes me happy. And since it makes me happy, I don't even think about like money and stuff like that when I'm thinking about this stuff. I'm just happy I get to do it. And you know, if money is required at some point, I know how to make money I know how to like be like, okay, guys, all right, let's make this work. Okay. If it ever comes down to that, I'll bring it up. But until then, I think I'm good. Until then, it's not about my money. It's just about getting the word out there, you know? Just making people know who you are and stuff like that. It already takes so long to do that. But I think I got there. I finally got there. So now I get to show them, the people that come to me, I can show them what I can do. Right? And if I start charging people how to do something like that right away, then who cares? I'm just another artist. But I want to give you guys knowledge that you guys can feel proud of. And then if you guys want more specialized artwork, like more knowledge specifically to a certain thing, then maybe I can charge for that, right? So that's what private mentoring sessions are and stuff like that. But in general, I don't want to ever stop giving you guys knowledge. I don't ever want to stop giving you guys free, like, classes. I just don't. I love this. I absolutely love it. So I don't understand really how the whole ban in TikTok is going to work. I live in TJ, so I live in Tijuana, so I'm not going to get affected by it at all. Like, I stream through here, but my audience won't have the app anymore. So if you guys don't want to lose out on anything that I have to teach, I'm going to transition over to YouTube at some point. I'm going to start doing it a little bit more over there. Mostly because, first of all, they pay me better. So they actually give me money. And it gives you guys a chance to actually donate as well, if you guys feel inclined to. So I don't know, it's just a slightly better format platform, but I just don't have the numbers over there yet. So if you guys want to do me a favor and just sign up to that YouTube, like, I do have a lot of valuable information. So you guys will all learn so much from just watching it. But, you know, it's just an option. I normally don't ask for anything, for help or anything from you guys. So if you guys could just do that, be awesome. Plus, if I get to 100K followers, I get a plaque. I get a cool plaque. And I want the plaque for my backdrop. Not gonna lie. I'm like those hobos that tell you that they're gonna buy alcohol and beer. Like, yeah, like, dude, I want the followers there because I want that plaque. Not even gonna lie. I'm gonna do a huge giveaway. Like, so I'm gathering a lot of things, right? So I'm gathering a lot of sketchbooks. I'm gathering like some materials. I have a stamp so I can stamp things. I have books that I have to sell. I have prints. Like, I have so many things that I want to do as a giveaway for my 100,000 follower like thing. And I haven't said anything to anybody. I was just gonna wait until it like got there naturally, but I guess if I get people excited over it, then it's gonna be like, yeah, then they get to. And then all of the sketchbooks will have a custom art piece by me, like a custom sketch. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's the first time in a while that I give out anything, really, because I just don't do giveaways because they're a pain in the ass to like keep fair and everything. But I'm just gonna do it again and see how it goes. And I know it's a big milestone, so if you guys help me reach it, you know, I'll give you guys back as much as I can. Do any designers teach to what? To taper? What do you mean taper? I don't understand what you mean taper. And designers come in all shapes and sizes, you know, like it could be character designers, it could be fashion designers, it could be graphic designers, it could be website designers. So using the term designer is it's very generic. Learn the terms a little bit better so that we know that you're in the industry. Most of the time when people call things like that we normally distinguish that you do not know or are not familiar enough with the industry to be able to tell us stuff. So when you are talking to people, the jargon and the like actual things you say, how you say it, that tells us a lot. for example, me with clients, if they start just speaking just weird designer jargon and they're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're trying to act like you do. And I'm not saying that's you, okay? I'm not saying that's you at all. So don't feel offended or anything. I'm just telling you that clients do that a lot. Clients do that a lot. They pretend like they know because they don't want to feel ignorant in front of the designer. And then you're like, sure, I will go PDF that JPEG. I'll do that for you, brother. Narrow everything or widen everything. No, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. You don't narrow everything. Why would you do that? What is that? What's the point of that? Only if you need something like that. For example, if you want something the same and to move it in space, that's the easiest way to do it. Make things the same size if you want it to be the same size. Make one bigger if you want it to come to you in space. Boo, 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 boo. Make it smaller if you want it to go away from you in space. And that is why people use that sort of stuff. So if you are using legs, you go from big, because that's your thigh, that's your connection point to your hip bone. You go to your kneecap, which is a little bit smaller, right? So it tapers down, and then your ankle is relatively small too. So that stays relatively the same size. It's when the muscle gets added that you get that definition. Okay? That's why I don't like doing this in a confusing way. I like to just go thigh, straight line from my kneecap into my foot, and then I just add the muscle behind it. I do think about it overlapping and stuff still, but I just do that because it's easy to be able to move that in space. I don't have to overthink things, even when I'm doing poses where the character is sitting on his foot. I don't have to guess, and that is the point. The point is to be able to do this simply enough that I don't have to guess where shit goes. Because if I don't have to guess, if this tells me everything of where every body part goes, I don't have to guess. And if I don't have to guess, then I get to be creative. Okay? If I don't have to guess the sizes of things, if I don't have to guess where the mapping parts go, I can just have fun drawing. So that's the whole concept of what I like to teach. I like to teach people how to figure this shit out. A praying lotus stretch? I don't know what that is. But let's see. A praying lotus. So I'm going to draw a praying lotus. What the fuck is that? I thought it was praying mantis. I was going to be like... I was going to make a praying mantis. I was like, that's a weird stretch. I don't even know how you would stay on the ground, but it would probably be something like that. The praying lotus, I'm guessing it's when you're sitting down, right? When you're doing this. Right? That's it, right? So, yeah, as you can see, it's not really all that hard. It's just, again, it's explained differently. It's explained really badly for people. So a lot of the times, people are just scared. Like, yeah. The reason that I know how to draw that is because I draw that at the end of every one of my sketches. Every one of my sketchbooks ends up with one of those. Here, let me show you. Let me see if I have several sketchbooks here. They always end up with a sketching of mine. But let's see. Oh, this one ended up with Grimmy. I got to bring Grimmy back. Grimmy Jr. was really cool. Grimmy was cool. Let's see. Where are my actual recent sketchbooks? It's knocking everything over. Oh, back when you were doing a beanbag. Ta-da! So I just draw myself over and over, like at the end of my sketchbooks, because this is one of the hardest poses to draw, right? Like crisscrossing all the body parts. So if I found myself comfortable drawing that pose, I told myself that I would actually think that I made it. So at the end of every one of my sketchbooks, I normally draw that. This one more. Let's see if I did it with this one. Yeah, I did. This one was really fun. This one was incredibly fun because we went into super cute animals. This one's going to be the first raw sketchbook that I release. This one right here. This one's already scanned. I just need to upload the files and get them all to KDP and stuff like that. But this one was going to be the very first raw sketchbook that I release. So everything like we did it on the streams, no editing, nothing. I'm just going to release it and see if you guys enjoy it. If you guys enjoy it, then that means you guys get a new sketchbook every month and a half, because that's how long it takes us to fill up a sketchbook. So, and then you have lessons and prompts and stuff like that. So most of the time I try to make it entertaining, even if it is just a sketchbook, and they're filled to the brim, like to the brim. So you get your maximum value from this stuff. So yeah, so this one's gonna be the very first one that gets released raw, this one. And the consequence sketchbooks will be, if that one actually sells well, then we will release the consequence sketchbooks. And then I'll leave the art block ones for themed ones. So for animals, for girls, for stuff like that. So I'll make themed ones in the art block series so you guys can break your art block. And then I'll have just the raw sketchbook ones. I'll have to come up with a name for them though. I think it might just be Coffee Break Doodles. I'll just go with that title. I like that title. So it might be Coffee Break Doodles. So yeah. Yes, there will be hard copies of all these. For all of them will have hard copies. And I'll be getting some hard copies for commissions too. So if anybody wants like a custom drawing inside, so if anybody wants like a little doodle or something inside, I will be providing that option as well, so that I can leave a little note and the doodle for you guys in your book. But those will be a little bit more expensive. Could you draw someone sitting from the front? Yeah, sure. Someone sitting from the front, you would need a rib cage from the front and the hip bones from the front. So from the front, it would be an egg and a circle. Okay, just an egg and a circle. If you split that circle in the bottom, if you split it, the edges are gonna be the top of your hip bones, and the middle is gonna be your belly button. So this belly button is going to give you the guidelines for where your legs are gonna go. Now, the next thing is you're sitting on something, so your hips are gonna be sitting on something. That circle has to be laying on something. It could be a couch, it could be a seat, it could be a chair, it could be anything you want, okay? In this case, we'll just draw like a little couch or something. From there, my legs are gonna come forward towards me. So I need to put my feet down wherever my feet are gonna go. I like to start by drawing the bottom of my feet on the ground wherever I need them to be, because I know the back of my foot is gonna connect to my kneecap. So from there, I go up to wherever I need my kneecaps to be. Just a straight line, nothing special. From here, wherever that kneecap is gonna go, I work my way back and I connect it back to those circles. And then after I have my thigh, I go in and I add my calf muscles. Add a little bit of depth by drawing a line in front of that, and now you have somebody sitting on a couch. If you want somebody with arms, draw a compass, draw a circle and a compass, and this is gonna be the outside edges of your arms. So draw your arms in the direction you want them, and then give them volume, bringing them back into the body. Connect the edges, and draw your head from this little circle. Congratulations, you have a sitting pose. So depends on how you break it down. Everything is gonna be incredibly hard or incredibly simple depending on how you visualize it. I have broken this down into a system called SAM, Simple Anatomy Mannequin. Okay, it's a simple, very simple anatomy mannequin, but it's based on anatomy. It's not based on a style. It's not the Marvel way. It's not the Pixar way. It's not the Disney way. This is not the RODGON way. This is just anatomy. Okay, but it's anatomy taught in a way that makes a little bit more sense. Ooh, Masterman Labs. There you are. Add moderator. There you go. Done. Draw an epic anime pose. Okay. So one of the most iconic poses in anime is when Goku turns Super Saiyan, right? So we're going to have him floating in the air in pain. So we're going to have him floating in the air in pain. From there, he's going to be charging up, so his bottom of his hand is going to be roughly around here, roughly around here. The arms work the same way as the legs. As long as you find this connecting point, you can do a teardrop into a straight line. Once you find that connecting point with your body, you can draw a teardrop into a straight line. Teardrop into a straight line. Yes, you can. Like, it's literally super simple, dude. This is your hand, right? And then here, you add volume to whatever side your palm is pointing to. So if your palm is pointing down, right? If your hand is pointing this way, the muscle goes on the bottom. If the hand is pointing up, the muscle goes on top. And that's the easiest way to draw arms. Straight up, just go foop, foop into your hand, and then close it. So, again, here, then we have to add anatomy with characters like Goku and stuff like that. We have to add a lot of anatomy because they have a lot of muscles. So, let's draw the hair first. He has bangs and stuff like that. Cool. Then the muscles, for him, I need to make this circle bigger at the rib cage because he has a super stupidly big neck. So it needs to connect to the body wider than the normal, and so we have to enhance that. Okay? And then he has really big shoulders, and shoulders are put up above your arm. They just go around that little connecting point. Again, his hands, that doesn't really look too good right there anymore. I'm gonna move it down a little bit more, and he's gonna be holding a fist. So let me show you guys something really cool. If you guys have your wrist, okay, and your palm of your hand is the same width, it's the same width. The thing is that makes it separate is the thumb gives it a little bit of distance. But if you just keep them the same size, it's very easy to draw hands. Okay? Hands and the wrist are the same width. The thumb splits the palm area in half from the wrist. From the wrist. Always from the wrist. That's the origination point of your thumb. It's not the palm, it's the wrist. Okay? So when you're drawing your hands, wherever that crease is, wherever that bend is for your wrist, that is where your thumb goes, regardless of where you want to draw your hand. Okay? So you can use that to be able to maneuver where you want your hand to be. Draw the same size, even if it's straight, okay? And then use your thumb connecting to that ridge, just pointing more towards the palm. And then from there, you can do a little bean bag, or you could do the 3-part system, which is your base, your stick, and it's like a little stick, like a gear shift. You know, it has 3 parts. So you can think about it either way. You can just think about it like a little beanbag, or you can think about it like the 3-part system. So 2 pieces or 3 pieces, depending on how comfortable you are. Okay, from there, the width of your knuckles are gonna be inside your palm, Don't draw them outside, or don't draw them halfway. Just always draw them inside, okay? When you're drawing your knuckles, draw your knuckles inside your palm. Why? Because the measurements normally go like this. From the bottom of your palm to the first section of your finger is the same as the next 2 combined. Okay? So whatever this distance is for the finger, the next 2 sections of your finger will be equal to that one. And you can measure it yourself right now. From the bottom of your knuckle to this first section is the same as the next 2 combined. From the bottom of your knuckle to your first knuckle, it's the same as the next 2 combined.